So before we begin, I'm just going to give some examples on how to do a good video, a good interview. Today I'm interviewing Paul Barsh, and we're going to be talking about Toastmasters, how he joined Toastmasters, what you've gotten out of it, any experiences that you've had, and any recommendations that maybe others would want to hear. So Paul, how did you get into Toastmasters?
I got into Toastmasters when I made a big mistake. I had a corporate audience, I was on a conference call, and I had the chance to really shine. And I actually scripted out my response to a presentation. And then what happened during that presentation is I lost my place in this really long script. And there was this silence, deadly silence for like 10, 15 seconds while I was trying to figure out what I was doing. And I embarrassed myself horribly in front of all my peers. And I said to myself that moment, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to learn to speak in public, even if it's on the phone. I'm going to learn to present so that I can do a better job next time and not embarrass myself.
That's a good reason to start. How long ago was that?
That was about 15 years ago.
Holy moly.
Yeah, that's a long time. Lot of Toastmasters. A lot of experience.
Well, Paul is, in my opinion, one of the better speakers that I've ever seen, and he's been such a great role model to me. Any recommendations for people who want to join Toastmasters?
I think the thing to do is just to come. And we have some guests today. There's a lot of people who are sitting on the sidelines that may be thinking about Toastmasters but not quite wanting to dip their toe in the water. The main thing is to come, and then when you come, participate. Just come, get engaged, start doing things, start doing some of the roles, and you're going to get better through speaking.
Right. So 15 years ago, you joined Toastmasters to get better at speaking. You're a great speaker now. What keeps you coming to the meetings?
What keeps me coming to the meetings is I want to stay sharp. I find that speaking is like a craft, and if you don't do it for a long time, you get a little rusty. So I keep coming back because I want to get better and get better each and every time.
Yeah, good reasons. Any final thoughts to leave the audience and have people join Toastmasters?
Yeah, my final thought would be it's one of those things you just got to do. Just come, start getting engaged with Toastmasters, start speaking, and you're going to get better every day.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Paul, for your time, and I'll see you next Friday.
Yeah. All right.
Without further ado, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Paul, our Toastmaster.
Welcome to the Expressions Unlimited show.
One question you get.
Well, I've got one question for you.
Make it deep.
So my question is, why did you join Toastmasters?
That's it? That's as deep as you go? Yeah. Well, I did not join it for the reasons that you mentioned, which was to stay sharp. I joined to actually get around other people. I was actually getting more and more behind a computer screen, which bothers me because I enjoy people. So I came out and started speaking and really enjoyed it. And in fact, now, lately, I haven't been speaking much at a Toastmasters club because I've got a lot of things going on. But you can actually join a Toastmasters club and not really, you should participate, but if your schedule gets really intense, you can still come. You can enjoy the people. You can participate by giving evaluations. And look forward to the day when you have more time to get back in the game and give speeches. And I'm going to do that again. So I'm here for you, Paul, because I love you.
I love that about you. You're such a good soul. Thank you, Rick. Gene, come on up. Welcome to the Expressions Unlimited show.
Thank you.
So, Gene, what was your experience? What was your thinking about when you first joined Toastmasters, first day, and what is your thoughts about Toastmasters now? First impressions, current impressions.
My first impression was, gosh, I don't think I can do this. These people are all so great, and I'm so inhibited, and it's just a scary thing. But I stepped into it, and I said, I've got to try this. I've always wanted to. And each speech got a little bit easier and easier as I went along. So, yeah, it's been a good thing.
Good. So you've come away with some nuggets, have you? With some best practices?
Best practices. I like evaluating because it's spontaneous. It's not a prepared speech. It's a little more challenging. You get to critique somebody else, and sometimes in critiquing them, you can see pointers for yourself. So I think that's a good nugget.
Very good. Thank you, Gene. Thanks for coming on. Ellen, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming in today. So tell me, what is one thing, you're a new Toastmaster, what is one thing that you want to work on with public speaking?
I have some trouble physiologically when I get under stress, being able to express myself. So I feel like the practice that I get here, I'll be able to not just freeze, and even though I've got the speech memorized, I can't come up with it when I freeze.
Okay, so sometimes that happens, people freeze. What do you think might be a way to overcome that stress?
Well, I think you guys are also encouraging that I sort of relaxed the first time I came compared to a group I tried before. So if you have tried any other groups, this one's a little different, I think.
All right, well, that's great encouragement. Thank you, Ellen. All right. Gail, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, I want to talk about the culture of this specific club. Every club has their own culture.
Yes.
Have you been to other Toastmasters clubs? And if you haven't or have, please address that. And then what do you like about the culture of this club?
That's a great question, Paul. Thank you. I have not gone to any other Toastmasters except this one here in Carlsbad. And what I love the most about this culture is how diverse we are in age, in race, in skill. And also, I do love how the atmosphere every Friday right here by the beach, coming down here, starting my day off bright, and really the name speaks for itself. Expressions Unlimited. There is no limit to how high you want to go. I can express myself just like Lawrence expresses himself, or I can express myself like how Rick expresses himself, or how I do. Pardon me. And with that, it really helps with my encouragement every day, rather than just every Friday, to treat my day like how I am presented, how I'm presenting myself here in Toastmasters.
Very good. Hey, thanks for coming on the show, Gail. Pat, welcome to the show.
How you doing?
You've probably seen speakers at this club. You've probably seen speakers on television. You've probably seen speakers in real life doing different presentations. What is one thing that you have learned to do or not to do from a speaker that you've watched?
Well, I've learned to be clear when I'm speaking, to have a point when I'm speaking, to not say the and just to have structure in whatever you're ready to say. And I learned that here from watching everyone here and just picking up clues on how to have your point to your story.
Sure.
Yeah.
When you hear a speaker and they have those non-fluencies, those ums, those ahs, what are you thinking in the back of your mind now that you've been to Toastmasters a couple times?
Well, I'm just, sorry. I'm just, I'm more aware of it. I look at them and there was a, and so I just more aware of it. And I think it helps me just in my work, in life, so I can be prepared or what I want to say and not just kind of fumble through it. And it's helpful.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it, Pat. Stacy,
Yes.
thanks for coming in today.
Hi, Paul.
Have you participated in a speech contest? And if you have not participated in a speech contest, would you take the initiative to participate in a speech contest in the future?
I did participate in a speech contest at one time. It was humorous. And I passed at the level here in our club and went on to the next level. However, there was a lot more people and I didn't know them and I forgot part of my speech. But it still went off because they didn't know what I didn't say. So even though I goofed up, I still felt it was a great experience because I was getting out of my comfort zone and doing something that I would never have done on my own. And this group really gives me a lot of opportunity to do the things that we wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, sometimes that happens when you do forget some of your speech. So what do you do in that instance?
You just move on. You just keep going. Just just swallow your pride and just keep going.
Yeah, I find that the audience doesn't know that you've forgotten part of your speech, so if you just kind of work through it, good things happen.
This is true.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you so much.
Emmanuel, welcome to the Expressions Unlimited show.
Thank you.
It takes courage, I believe, to walk in the door here. So my question for you is, what brought you in today, and what do you want to work on in terms of your public speaking?
Well, back when I was a younger lad, I was forced to give a presentation back in school. And I remember being terrified before and spending so much time practicing. And I noticed that that is not the way I want things to be. I want to be able to be comfortable on stage, not afraid of things that I shouldn't be afraid of, and maybe even dynamic. For instance, if there is a word I should use and I'm doing an improv, I should be able to do it.
Like using the word encouragement, for example.
Exactly, using the word encouragement
Right.
when it fits.
Right.
So for that reason, I've been practicing public speaking whenever I had a chance. If there's a presentation or I get to teach, I'm actually kind of excited to do it. And for that reason, I'm happy to be here to improve my public speaking.
All right.
And I also enjoyed the encouragement that I had thus
right.
far.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Johnny, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to ask you the same question. I think it takes a lot of bravery to come in the door. There's a lot of people that sit on the sidelines that just don't take that step. So my question to you is, what brought you in the door today to this particular club, and what do you want to get on Toastmasters if you join?
What brought me in, I am encouraged by my grandma. My grandma has been talking to me about this for years, and I feel like I'm finally at the point where I have the time to come in and take the time and learn from everybody here. But I'm excited. It's a little far, so we'll figure out, but I'm actually excited with the group. I see the different types of people, and I'm more excited about coming and getting the opportunity to better myself, and because I know it will. People have told me on and on how much better they end up getting speaking and all that.
I know that grandparents are very special.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what encouragement did your grandmother give you to do this? Was she saying you have to do this, or was it a light push? Or what was that like?
My grandma and my mom are just like each other. They tell you things over and over and over and over and over, and then finally you're like, okay, fine, I'll do it. So that's, yeah. So I got to the point where I was like, I gotta just do it.
Right, so you were basically nagged to death to join
Yes, pretty
Toastmasters.
much, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on
Yes,
today.
thank you.
All right. And that'll wrap it up.
Okay, that's a wrap. Expressions Unlimited show. It's an art to do what Paul has done. Thank you. This is great because we're working out the wrinkles. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this again, hopefully, and we can go over the video aspect